You're listening to Profit Without Worry, episode number 134. There's more than one way to build a successful business, and it doesn't have to involve being shady with your marketing. On this episode of Profit Without Worry, I'm talking about the paths to success and why sacrificing your integrity isn't how you build a thriving business. Hey there, I'm Michelle Evans, and this is the show where coaches, experts, and business owners like us get real about what it takes to create a profitable online business. I can tell you from experience that nonstop hustle plus random acts of marketing do not equal success. So how do we attract a steady flow of clients and sales without all the hustle? This is the Profit Without Worry podcast. Well, hello there. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. Hey, I have a brand new free resource for you. It's a tell-all article that I wrote called The Real Reason Proven Marketing Formulas Have Stopped Working. And in it, I name names. I show proof of how the syndicate shaped the online marketing industry, and I show you why those pesky proven formulas are no longer working. And I'm here to tell you, it's not you, it's the system. I'll link to the article in today's show notes at profitwithoutworry.com/episode-134, or you can simply go to profitwithoutworry.com/article. It's all there, and from the people who've read it, I've gotten a lot of great feedback. So do yourself a favor and take a few minutes to hop on over and read it. All right, let's dive into today's show. Today's topic reminds me of that children's story about the tortoise and the hare. You'll remember in the story, the very fast hare or rabbit was laughing at the idea of racing against the tortoise because he was so slow, right? So the hare, the starting line goes off, the gun goes off, and they say, go. And the hare races ahead and realizes just how amazing he is and how far ahead he is. So he decides, why don't I just lay down and take a nap, knowing full well he doesn't have to work very hard to win against that tortoise. Meanwhile, the old tortoise, he's plodding along, one slow step at a time, not worrying about the hare and all his bragging and look at how great I am. The tortoise just focuses and puts one foot in front of the other. Do tortoises have feet? I'm not sure. I don't think they're paws. I'm not sure what they are. We'll call them feet. But he puts one foot in front of the other and ultimately wins by staying focused and doing the work. Well, the same thing happens in how we choose to build our businesses, especially in attracting an audience and selling. Let's turn back the clock for a moment to the late 1990s and early 2000s. It doesn't seem like that long ago on one hand, but on the other hand, it seems like a lifetime ago so much has changed. When online marketing was brand new and the land of untapped opportunity. This was when I was just getting started in my marketing career as a new college grad, so I remember it well because it really shaped me as a professional. There was just so much cool new stuff happening. Back in those days, AOL was cool. Front Page was a cutting-edge website tool. Everyone used dial-up, which was slow, painfully slow, and smartphones weren't yet invented. How we interacted with the internet at that point was totally different than how it is today. I remember how intoxicating those early days were. It was a modern-day gold rush, and everyone wanted to be part of the excitement. We didn't want to be left out. In those days, you could make a lot of money if you were even slightly technical with an exciting idea because there was so much that was fresh and new. The market was wide open and people were not jaded yet, right? And back then, marketing and sales looked very different. I don't know if you remember that time. I do because I just graduated from college. But a banner ad cost less than a penny and you could get clicks to a website. And they were so cheesy. They would have like the ants marching around. Like, I just think back to that time and kind of cringe. But everything was cool. No one cared about privacy policies or really truth in advertising because online marketing was moving so quickly. It was hard for the general public and lawmakers to keep up. The word spam was something you could eat, not email. It was simple to buy or rent an email list cheaply to get in front of hundreds of thousands, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people with any offer for very little money. I worked in banking at this time, and, we didn't do shady stuff. But I remember watching companies that would, in the .com boom, that would go up, and I would watch what their marketing was, and I'd just think, what are they doing? And around this time, Seth Godin released one of my all-time favorite marketing books, just because of the impact it had on me as a marketer. It's a little outdated now, but it's called Permission Marketing: Turning Strangers into Friends and Friends into Customers. And if you remember, it has this yellow, like bright yellow cover with his bald head and his eyes looking up. I don't even know how many times I read that book as I was trying to make my own way into this digital marketing frontier. This was an eye-opener for the marketing world. Over the next few years, entrepreneurs and corporations really had a choice to make. Path one is the tortoise way, right? The slower way. It's about putting one foot in front of the other, building trust, building value, connecting with people, right? Or path two was the hare, or the faster way. This way resulted in ultimately exploiting audiences and derailing their businesses. And I mean, there were some great businesses. Like I still love homegrocer.com. I wish that they would bring that peach back. That was one of my favorite ones, but there were so many businesses that would just scam their audience. Like, I remember one time I was trying to find a job in the online space and out of banking, and this banner ad came up, and I clicked on it, and it was this offer to shoot my resume out to, I don't know, like 10,000 recruiters. And I bought it, and I got nothing from it. So, it was like there were just so many people. I don't even know if my resume went out to anybody. But, there were many, many people out there that were using path two. It was the shiny object path, the quick fix path, the must-have shiny system path, the magic wand path. Call it what you will. Path two made everything seem quick, easy, and like the fastest path to cash, the fastest path to whatever your dreams were. In path number two, there are still people who are all about exploiting the system. Their motto at that time and even now is make a lot of money very fast and then move on. You'll see them pop up with different programs, different offers, and even businesses. This happened with the coach that I had from 2015, 2016, who was very, very exploitative. She changed her business name at least 4 times since beginning her business. She has lots of different giant offers that come out. She pairs up with other people. And it's because she's taking the path number 2, the faster way. And that's because, A, they often get caught and fined and then shut down, reported to the BBB or the Better Business Bureau. For those of you not in the United States, they get reported to various agencies, so they get fined and shut down. Or B, or sometimes and B, the word gets around about how bad or overpriced a product, a program, or a service is. And so people stop buying because they hear, all the rumblings. So the people who choose path 2, who just want to make a quick buck and move on, they dump those programs and they move on to the next thing. The goal with option 2 or path 2 is to create a big splash, to get as much money as possible and then move on to the next thing. And the coach that I had, she would always talk about the fastest path to cash. That was her shiny object, that she was going to show you the fastest path to cash in your business. And unfortunately, it really did mean making stuff up a lot. I got a lot more into I go a lot more into option 2 in the article that I wrote and why it's such a problem. And I even include links to video proof and FTC or Federal Trade Commission judgments to show exactly what I mean. You'll see, I think there's like 15 or so links to FTC judgments with some of these big names that you will recognize. So be sure to go to profitwithoutworry.com/article to read all about these 2 options. Now here's the deal. Path 1 is totally different. It's the tortoise approach, and in my mind, it's the more stable approach. This requires building a foundation of trust. It means keeping your eye on the long term and not exploiting your audience by selling everything under the sun for a quick sale. Well-known companies today made very deliberate choices to take slower, steadier, trust-building paths. For example, think about Zappos. I've purchased so many things from Zappos over the years because I trust them. I know if I don't like what I buy, I can send it back, no questions asked, no hassles. I know if I have an issue with an order, I can call them and they'll stick with me and take care of it. I've never actually had an issue, but I did have a friend who had one once, and she told me how amazing they were. And they went over and above to take care of it. In fact, she tells a story quite often. I pay a lot more for things on Zappos than I do anywhere else online because I trust them. From the Zappos About Us page, here's what they say about their company, and it goes to the heart of their mission. So this is directly from their About page. At Zappos, our purpose is simple: to live and deliver wow. 20 years ago, we began as a small online retailer that only sold shoes. Today, we still sell shoes as well as clothing, handbags, accessories, and more. That more is providing the very best customer service, customer experience, and company culture. We aim to inspire the world by showing it's possible to simultaneously deliver happiness to customers, employees, vendors, shareholders, and the community in a long-term, sustainable way. We hope that in the future, people won't even realize we started selling shoes online. Instead, they'll know Zappos as a service company that just happens to sell. Okay, that's directly from their About page. You can go there and read it for yourself. This is an amazing manifesto for their company, and every interaction I've ever had with them, they've absolutely lived up to it. One of my kids has really narrow feet. Her feet are almost like skis. And I have to order her shoes here because it's really hard to find shoes that fit her in traditional stores. Like it's really hard. Even Nordstrom doesn't really have her kind of shoes. And so I order a lot of stuff from Zappos. And I'm sure, you have a favorite place too. And if you take apart why you love them, it's likely built, at least in part, on trust. So, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever bought something and loved it? Or bought something and realized the whole thing was an overpromise, under-deliver experience? I'd love to hear your story. Hit me up on social media or email me, michelle@michellelevans.com. And as you were listening to this, did you think of someone who could use these insights about creating profit without worry in their business? If you can think of someone who could use this, would you do both of us a big favor and share this episode with them? It's easy to do from whatever podcasting app you're listening on, or you can just share the URL for today's show and they can listen on any device right there on my website. It's profitwithoutworry.com/episode-134, and your friend can listen right there. And don't forget, do yourself a favor and go read the article. The real reason proven marketing formulas have stopped working. You can get that at today's show notes or profitwithoutworry.com/article so that you can see what it takes to create a movement with your marketing. All right, have an amazing week, and I'll see you back here next week, same time, same place, on another great episode of Profit Without Worry. See you then.